Hello, I'm Brian Braun-Duin,
And I'm Chris VanMeter.
and you're watching the Versus series on StarCityGames.com. Alright, we are here for another video, and we are playing some Magic Origins cards. I'm playing Goblins with new Pile Driver and Goblin Glory Charger, and I keep wanting to call him Goblin Shortcutter, but he's actually Subterranean Scout. And then I want to call him Subterranean Shambler, but
Doesn't work that way.
It doesn't work that way. So I'm playing some sweet goblins, but I'm also battling against another tribe.
Yeah, I'm playing with a plethora of awesome new elf cards that are in Magic Origins, and excited to see how they play out.
So one interesting thing that happened earlier this week is Wizards made an announcement about some changes to the rules for the upcoming Pro Tour.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the major changes was that there's a new mulligan rule. And if you mulligan below 7 cards, you get to scry one. Once you've kept your hand, you get to scry one.
But before the game starts.
Before the game begins.
Yeah,
yep.
So both players have to resolve all of their mulligans, and then anybody who kept less than 7 cards gets to scry one.
So we are going to go ahead and debut that in the Versus video and see how it works out. It's actually something that a lot of people do in testing anyway. Pretty much cheaty face McGee, but
Yeah.
it's something that's now actually legal at the Pro Tour, and I think they're going to use the results from that to determine whether it gets adopted everywhere else afterwards as well.
I have a feeling that it will.
I think so too.
Let's see what happens.
I'm definitely in favor of it, so we'll see how it works in this video where CVM's going to mulligan to 6 a bunch. So
Yeah, I know, it's great for me. It's perfect in these videos. But we're just going to do a good old-fashioned high roll and see what happens.
Oh, wow. Rolling high. Woo! Can't script it any better.
It's the actual story of my life.
Okay, I'll be on the play. All right, this hand looks great. I'm going to keep it.
Well, I have 6 lands, so I'm going to mulligan. We get to see this new rule in effect right off the bat.
That's great.
Oh, jeez. We good?
Yeah.
All right, see if we can get a playable 6.
Or an unplayable 6 with a scry.
And yeah, this hand is actually going to be fine. And we get to scry one. This is pretty great. So I think this is normally a pretty good card, but I feel like I'm going to want some cheaper ways to interact. And I also just going to be doing a bunch of damage to myself with this hand, so we're going to put that on the bottom.
Alright, I'm going to begin with this guy and say go. See, I wanted to draw a card because you performed a game action. Just made it, maybe want to just draw a card.
Ooh, I wonder how often that's going to happen.
Yeah, it's probably going to happen a lot at first.
Yeah. Need to be on the up and up and remind your opponents not to do that.
Yeah, see if this Goblin Glory Chaser can get in.
Alright, I got a Gnarl Root Trapper.
Against old Gnarls. Gnarl Sparkly. Draw. Ooh.
We're trapping it up.
It's pretty cool card. Well, I think I just wanted to... just want to use my mana effectively, so we'll make this guy unblockable. Hit you for 1, and then round him up.
Alright.
You're up.
So I got 19. Alright. And I don't think I want to cast this guy yet. See, you're already using new cards for sweet combos.
In fact, only new cards have been played so far.
Yeah. I think that I just want to play this Elvish Visionary. Or actually, maybe I do just want to play the Nissa, so that way I can just play 2 spells next turn and use my mana a little more efficiently. I'm going to take some damage, but that'll be fine. I'll pay a life.
18.
And we'll play Nissa.
Okay.
I'm going to go get a forest and put it in my hand. And it's your turn.
Alright, land here would be great. Not land.
So you can just start Rebel Mastering. Pile Driver, Hammerhand.
Alright. We'll attack with both of these.
Well, I think that I just kind of want to preserve my life total, so we'll just block the Scout.
Okay, so you go down to 17? Or 16?
16.
I'll pile drive it up.
Yep.
You're up.
So one thing I didn't realize was that I had to use this for mana on my Elvish Visionary, which is awkward. Man, this is real awkward. Go to 15. Play a Visionary.
Sure.
And then it'll just be your turn.
I really feel like things like Bile Blight are afoot here based on how this is
yeah,
this is
kind of
played
have
out.
to telegraph it.
Uh,
Getting used to this guy only casting creatures and not your spells is going to be interesting.
Well, I think he can Bile Blight one of these guys if he wants to. We'll dash a Heal Cutter and go to combat.
Let's see, I want to take 5. So I can Bile Blight his Heal Cutter, and then
Probably take 5. It looks like you're taking 5 either way.
yeah, I mean I can always chump the Pile Driver if I really want to.
Sure. Maybe I should have called this creature Dennis. Dennis the Menace.
Yeah. I think that I just want to end up Bile Blighting the Pile Driver.
And I will 5 you.
Yep, I go to 10.
You're up.
Alright, well, I'll Shaman a pack.
So I go to 17.
Yep. And it's your turn.
Draw. Alright. How are we doing this? I think I'm just going to dash a Heal Cutter. And Hammerhand this guy. He can't block. And I'll attack with both. And he can't block.
Well then,
Old Gnarls Barkley. Probably gonna have to block.
yeah. So we've got 3, 4, 5, so 6 coming at me.
Yep.
And you're at 17.
Yep.
Oh, man, had I drawn like 1 or 2 more elves, I might be able to just try and kill you next turn. Yeah, we gotta jump.
Okay, so you take 3 to 7, and that's it for me.
Yep. It's not that bad. Reclamation Sage your hand. Get that value.
That's pretty sick value.
And I'll pass the turn.
Alright, untap, draw. That's dash heel cutter. And go to attacks.
Sure.
So attack with these 2. Reclamation Sage can't block before blocks. Wild Slash or Shaman attack.
Alright, well, we're gonna cord for 2.
Sure.
I'll get an elite.
Okay.
We still need to draw something good here. So kind of don't want to go to 4, so I think that I'll just block your heel cutter with my elite and take 2. Menace is actually relevant.
It is relevant. Your turn.
Spell. It's the opposite of a spell. I think I just have to pass and not attack.
Okay. We'll untap, draw. Attack.
I'll just block with everything.
This first, this second.
Sure.
And I'll play another one and say go.
Spell. Yep.
I'll stoke you.
1.
Right. I'll take something. Good. Draw. Attack. Lightning strike in response.
Sure. Alright, we're back for game 2. I will be on the play. Let's see here. 3, 6, 7. I'm not too excited about this hand, but we do have some temples to help us find some things, and we have some acceleration and card draw, so I'll keep.
This hand's pretty slow, but I think it's a keep.
Go ahead.
Go.
All right. Visionary, and Mystic, and pass. So from here we want to use these to find cards like Collected Company.
I'm just gonna say go.
That's also pretty good. Ooh, do I want to scry yet? I don't think that I want to scry yet.
Yep.
Sure.
I will lightning strike him in response to the trigger. Well, if he has quarter calling, he can't court for 2.
I'll scry. And this is good. We'll keep this on top. And then I'll battle you for 2.
Alright, I'm at 18.
Go ahead.
Alright, well, we're just gonna play Rebel Master. Attack you.
19.
Go ahead. I could have used Lightning Strike on one of his elves, but I wanted to save it for anything greater than 1 toughness, so that our Rebel Master was gonna definitely make a token.
So I think I just fire this off now.
Okay.
Well, there's not too much that we can get.
Yep.
So I have to decide here if I want to use this now and then scry or not. Alright, so I think that I want to get in a point of damage. Because my trapper can give a death touch, so I don't think I want to trade a Rebel Master off. Well, let me just scry first and see what I want to do. The card is fine. I'll leave that there. So now I actually just want to attack with all 3 of these.
I don't want to block any of them.
Alright, take 3.
15.
Go ahead.
Right.
I don't know if everybody saw that, but that's what was on top.
Alright. A lot of options for how I can play this turn. I think I want to go Frenzied Goblin, Goblin Rebel Master, make 2 tokens, tap, 1, 2, 3. Tap these 4. And I will stoke the flames of that thing. And then I'll attack you with Rebel Master.
Yeah, I'll go to 17.
Okay, go ahead.
And then I get to kill you. Play a shaman, and then court for another shaman.
So
2,
that's
4, 6, so it'll be 8 and then 9.
Yep. Good.
Fireball.
All right, we are back for sideboarding, and I am going to go for the old obelisk plan. So I'm bringing in the obelisks, Hordeling Outbursts, and I'm also bringing in Searing Blood and Scouring Sand so that I can kill a bunch of his creatures. I'm cutting Lightning Strike and Stoke because Lightning Strike's basically just a worse Searing Blood, and Stoke is just really expensive and hard to use against his deck, and it's not even that good. Like killing, that last game I just had to kill a 2/2 with it, which wasn't great. And then I'm going to cut a couple Heel Cutters because we're investing our entire turn into Heel Cutter usually. It's not something that stays in play, and his deck floods the board with so many small creatures that it's hard to effectively use Heel Cutter anyway. And then for the same reason I'm cutting like Pile Driver and Frenzied Goblin because it's hard to effectively use these cards against you. But I'm leaving in Hammerhand because it pumps my creature, and I'm leaving in Subterranean Scout because it actually is really good against you, but making like Rabble Masters or Pile Drivers unblockable.
Yeah, for sure. As for myself, I'm bringing in Knowledge Disciple to gain some life. Ultimate Price and Bile Blight is cheap removal spells. Cutting Downfall is 3 mana is a bit much. And I'm cutting 2 Nisses since I don't expect the games to go very long to where I'm going to want to transform Nissa and utilize the Planeswalker version of it. I'm keeping in the Reclamation Sage because as a green deck I would expect something like Hall of Triumph out of a Goblin deck. He does have Obelisk of Earth, so the plan's a little different, but I think I still would keep it in. Actually, I made a bit of an error in building this deck. I think that there should have been a Hall of Triumph somewhere in the 75 for the Elf deck, but that is something that I will check out for the next incarnation of the build. But for now, that's all we're going to sideboard, and let's see what happens.
Okay, let's do it. All right, we're back for game 3, and I'm up first. It's our first post-board game. And this hand looks great, so I'll keep it.
This hand seems fine too. We've got some acceleration, some value, some card draw.
So you good?
Yep.
All right, I'll cast Foundry Street and say go.
I'll take 1 and play a Trapper and pass.
Draw.
So I think we're going to see in these post-board games just how good Hordeling Outburst is against this deck. I do have some Bile Blights, but that's really about it.
Alright, I'll Dragon Fodder and attack you for 3. Sure. You're up.
We have to trade there. Can't really afford to take 3 damage. We'll just draw cards. That was visionary.
Sure.
Go ahead.
Play Pile Driver. Your turn.
So something like Subterranean Scout could be kind of troublesome coming up here on this next turn. We just kind of have to hope that doesn't happen. Mystic and an Elite.
Yep.
Get an Elf. I'll pass.
Just hoping for a land card. Alright, we did it. And hopefully we haven't let him spiral too far out of control at this point, but you do this. If he has like Bile Blight, that's really bad for us though, but
Just play Obelisk.
I think that probably sets up our next turn the best, so we'll try to run that. I'll Dragon Fodder and then Obelisk.
Oh jeez.
C3, 4, 5, 6 for Goblins. Go.
Alright, Bile Blight would be good here. Collected Company would be good. Court of Calling would be good. Basically any of our sweet cards in the deck, which was the exact opposite of what I just drew.
We're going to attempt to attack for a lot of damage next turn. Okay.
Maybe this deck should have less than 22 lands. I don't know. Is it worth even attacking at all? 3, 6, 9, 12. Alright, so if he has... So his pile driver will be 10 by itself. 11 by itself. If he has a subterranean thingy.
Yeah, I can't subterranean.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's not 2 power. It's not 2 or less power.
That's a non-bow. Alright, so...
It is a non-bow.
I guess my hope here is to do enough damage to you and then live on the backswing and Collected Company into double Shaman of the Pack.
Alright, so that's 5 damage?
Sure.
15.
Go ahead.
Alright. Tap. Draw. Let's see. Alright, I will Searing Blood that guy.
That's bad news.
You to 14. Go to combat.
Yep.
There's Alright, take 3.
That's 12.
Take 12.
Yeah,
Down
go to
to 2. Go.
Alright, Collected Company. It's actually not that bad. I'll attack you for 3.
Go to 12.
Yeah, go ahead.
Draw. Alright, 2.
Yeah.
It's an interesting draw. I feel like he has something like Bile Blight or Company here. Unfortunately, doesn't really save us from that. I guess I will just cast a Rebel Master and attempt to go to combat.
Yeah, that's fine.
Alright. Attack.
We'll take 1 and Bow Blight your tokens.
Yep.
We'll go to 1. And we'll block.
Yep. Pass the turn.
Alright. We need to Collected Company into double Shaman of the Pack here, and then we win.
Is that all?
Step 1? Come on, man. Yeah, I mean, I guess I'll top it. ahead.
All right. Draw. Go to combat.
Yep.
Send in the team. Yep. Go. Yep. Step 1.
Oh, we're just dead. Like I can make 3 guys.
Okay.
All right, we're back for game 4. Get to be on the play. Which is right where we want to be. 3, 6, 7. Man, this hand is just terrible.
Almost.
Yeah. One of those forests had been a land or a 2. I might have kept it, but at least now I get to scry.
You get to try.
Sure is all you ever hoped for.
It's okay. It's a good hand.
It always is. All you ever hoped for. 3, 6. Yeah, this hand's sweet. I'll keep. And we get to scry. Yeah, that's actually awesome.
Okay.
Good.
Alright, well, I'm going to start by just killing that guy. Here we go.
Good. Hold Wild Slash. My nemesis.
Yeah, here I'm just going to Dragon Fodder. Get up.
Sure. Scry. And a card suite, so we'll top it. Trigger. Good.
Card's just so unbelievably good against mono red. Play Pile Driver, Glory Charger. Here we go.
Jeez.
Yep.
Let's see here. Do I want to? I guess I could have attacked before I did anything if I wanted to attack, but I don't think I will. I'll pass.
Okay. Draw. Subterranean Scouts. I'm going to make this guy unblockable.
2 cards.
Yep.
All right.
Cast Obelisk.
Well, that is very unfortunate. I just have to mob blind him.
Yep. And I'll pass to you.
All right. I think I do this first rather than cast this.
Sure. I mean, judging from my days of hitting 1 or 0 creatures,
Draw a card.
pretty much take any 2 creatures I can get.
I'll Might have been right just to take the hit for 3 from that guy and then kill your tokens with my Bioblight. Would have given me a better chance at racing. Yeah, that would have been much better. Well, if you have Scouring Sands, I am just boned. But I think I'm boned regardless. So we just have to try and race.
14.
Go.
Draw.
Man.
Attack with everything. It's 10.
Cards?
Yep.
Yeah, I'll take 10.
Alright, so you're at 10. Visionary's dead. I'll play another pile driver. Your turn.
Alright, it's not an outburst. It's actually real good. That was a pretty good draw. I think that I leave these guys back. I send with those 3.
I'm gonna block Elvish Mystic.
Alright, I'll give him Death Touch.
Sure. 12.
I'll sage your Obelisk.
Sure.
Go ahead. Well, that might have been a mistake. I wanted to be able to go up to 7 mana before I cast this.
I'll play my other Obelisk.
Really?
And I'll attack you with these 2.
Alright, so if I take it, so it's 4, 5, 6, 7, so it's 9.
Yep.
9. So if I just take it, you're dead to a Shaman of the Pack or the guy that pumps everything. I can also just chump. Eight, 2, 3, 6, 7. Alright, so if I chump, you're still dead to both of those cards. 5, 6, 7. Yeah, I'll chump.
Okay, so you go to 6. Your turn. Okay. That's pretty good. That doesn't go on the bottom.
Does it go on the bottom?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it goes on the bottom. Alright, so 2, 3, 4. I've got a 5. I'll play an elite. Get a token. think that I attack with these. Put you at 6. So I have to block him 4. So I have to block 3. So I'd be dead to remove a spell. So I think that I keep one of these back. No, I'll keep one of these back. That way I'm not just like dead to a Scouring Sands. I can attack for 4, puts you at 8.
Yep, not it.
Go. Could you have named Elf with us? Oh, it's only creatures you control. I guess it wouldn't matter.
Yeah, it's creature I control. Let's see. So
Just wondering if there's any corner case where you'd want to
play the elf for next turn. 8. So maybe I need to be able to block. So I'm gonna take 2 of these. I need to block 2 of these for sure. I need to block all 4 of those. Alright, so I will not attack. Go to my second main phase. Play these 2. So go.
All right. So all of your goblins have to attack next turn, except for the Rebel Master. So how do I get the most? So I think I'm just casting both of these this turn. So you have 6 creatures that have to attack, and I went to block 5. Yeah, so I think it's just I'll play Nissa.
Yep.
Maybe I just attack all of my 2-power guys. I'll go to 4, and I'll play Dwayne.
Yep.
Alright, so if I attack with these, you have to block 2 of them. I don't think that would be advantageous for me.
No, I just get to eat 2 of them. So my guys are 4, like a 3/4 and a 4/4.
Yeah. So I'll just pass the turn.
All right. Go to combat. Attack with everything.
Ugh. Alright, well, these 2 have to be blocked.
Those are both lethal attackers. Yep. To block 4 of these 5 for sure.
You have 1 card?
Yep.
Alright, so I think that I want to block everything so that I don't just die
Just to a
to
searing
a burn spell.
Yeah.
Like a Searing Blood. Which means I probably want to not block with this guy so that this doesn't die to a Searing Blood. Which means Although if you had Searing Blood, I think you would have done it before you attacked.
But I don't think there's any reason for me to do that.
Kill off. Yeah, that's true.
You have more. You have more blockers than I have.
Yeah. Kind of want to keep this Nissa. It might be relevant to flip it next turn if I draw land. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So this is lethal. I imagine you just have to play another creature, which can block the twin in. Well, I think I want to try and win the game instead of playing around Searing Blood.
Yep.
If that's the case, then I just actually keep this guy around. And I just chop one of these. I'll block like that.
Okay.
So this guy
damage
dies.
happens. This guy dies.
This guy dies. This
These
guy
trade.
trades.
That guy
This
dies.
guy dies.
I keep
Two
one of these tokens.
Yeah, you keep one.
That's all die. And I will postpone play the beautiful Hordeling Outburst.
Oh, just the worst.
And you blocked everything, right? Yeah. You're up. Alright, no Reclamation Sage. No guy who does me
bring in
damage.
the second one. I will for the next game, though. Alright, Court of Calling. That's interesting. Not a land, so we can't transform our Nissa. Would have been kind of cool to finally do it.
Yeah. Yep.
So I think that I just... And I'm going to gain some life when these guys attack, too. It's pretty gas. I think that I just ship with these three.
Good. So you're gonna
Trigger, I'll gain 3 and go to 7. This game has been real interesting.
Has been an interesting game. So you can give attacking creatures death touch. Do a removal spell. Alright.
Shaman of the Pack is a great magic card.
I think I just want to get that Dwinin off the table. This is tough. Alright.
It's possible that I should have also attacked with the Narvote Trapper. Actually, hold on. I think that I have to attack with this also.
Okay. That's fine.
Then you can just double here and then block here. No, I can't attack with this. I was right the first time.
Can't attack with that. Okay. Alright. I won't block.
Oh, you don't want me to flip my Planeswalker, huh?
No.
4/4 would be relevant here.
And double block. We'll try that.
Alright, well I think that I have to use this and save the Dwinin. Because all of his goblins are going to have to attack next turn. And I'll have some blockers. So I'll price one of the tokens.
Yep.
You take 3.
Yep, I got a 5.
These guys trade, that guy dies. We play our Elvish Mystic.
Sure.
And the other thing that I could have done is I could have gave this Death Touch, killed both of the tokens, and then killed the Rebel Master, but I think this gives me the best chance to actually win the game.
Go to combat, make a thing. I think I probably butchered the blocks on that one.
What, your turn?
Yeah. If I had just blocked these two guys, I would win.
Oh, and knock the Duin?
Yeah, then you would have killed my Rebel Master, but I guess it might be the same either way.
So we're already in combat?
Yeah, I've made a token. I'm deciding what I want to do. If I attack with everyone, he just blocks these two, and then he kills me, so I cannot attack with Rebel. He still has to block one of these creatures, so I'll attack.
Alright, so I think that I have to just block there and go to 1. Well, actually, I'm going to block with the Road Trapper.
Yep.
That way I can cord for the Disciple and gain life if I need to.
Okay, so take
6, go to 1.
Okay, go ahead.
Are you just dead?
No.
This is 5.
Oh, that is 5. Yeah, okay. I mean,
yeah. Redraw.
I thought that was only 4 for some reason. Yeah, dead. Yeah, if I had blocked those two guys, I think I would have won. But all right, we're here for game 5, and I am up first. And yeah, this hand looks good. I'll keep it.
Huh.
That 7th card got us there.
All right. Well, this hand, I don't think this hand's very good. What's interesting is I would keep this hand in the dark against an unknown opponent, but because we know we're playing against goblins and we're on the draw, I actually have to mulligan it. And we're also, like, now there's more incentive because of the scribe rule or whatever, but this hand just gets run over way too quickly. Like, we basically are on a 6-card hand anyways. Draw a Reclamation Sage. Got an answer for that obelisk. Also, now that we have like 8 mana creatures and we get like a free scry, I think it's fine to just like go to 6 pretty aggressively.
Mm-hmm. I think I would have cut that hand. Like, if you just draw an elf on turn 1, your hand's insane. And like, even if you don't, you still have like removal spell into, you know, like you maybe don't get a 1.
I don't think it lines up very well against like Dragon's Flight or Rolling Outburst, which is the sad part.
Yeah, but like the 2/2 is still just a very good body against those things, even if you can't get a 1/1 out of it. Just even a bear is not bad against me.
Yeah. We good?
Mm-hmm.
Alright, 3, 6. Yeah, this hand's great. We'll keep. And we get to scry one even. Ugh. So it's so weird that this card is like the card that I want to hit every single game, but not until we're already in the mid game. So I'm going to bottom it.
All right, Foundry Street Denizen. You're up.
Elvish Mystic Pass. Obelisk is so good.
I think I'm just gonna Searing Blood that guy.
Blech.
Put you down to 16. You're good. I think that's just better than playing these cards.
Good.
Alright, well, Denizen's probably dying. But we're gonna Dragon Fodder, Glory Charger, and attack for 4. Alright, he's dead. Go ahead. Okay.
Get a forest, your turn. I think I just have no chance to win this game at this point.
No, that's not true at all.
Yes, you don't have Obelisk. I will block the Glory Charger.
Okay, you go to 14. I'll cast Whirling Outburst.
Bile or bust.
Yep.
The old Burmaz into Bile Blight. We're gonna scry. This is kind of awkward, but yeah, that card's great. Alright, well, we're gonna get another 2 toughness blocker in play and drain you for 2.
18.
Go ahead.
Well, our draws have been very poor this game.
They just been mountains.
They pretty much have been.
Oh
Just
man.
make 2 goblins and say go.
So did I just flip over the Bile Blight now?
I mean, I know you probably have it, but
I don't. Alright, so I think that we want to play this guy out first and just not scry in case we hit more Shaman of the pack. However, with this board, I think trying to scry into a Bile Blight is going to be pretty important. So I think we're going to wait on playing out our Trapper. Full company.
sure.
Oh man, that's so bad.
I'll take an Obelisk off the top. I don't think hitting creatures is that, like, it doesn't even matter what you hit. Just
Yeah.
hitting any creatures
Well,
is fine.
Compared to what I could hit.
That's fair. I don't think you've played enough with Collected Company.
Yeah, that's true.
You're just happy anytime you hit creatures at all.
Alright, we'll scry, and we're going to bottom this because we have plenty. And I don't think attacking is doing things, so I'll just pass.
Alright, well, let's do this. Let's get in there.
I just have to block.
So take 4.
I'm going to leave back the Sage. That way it stops the Rabble Master.
So take 5.
And I'll go to 9.
Go ahead.
Twinning.
Dwinin for the winning. Sure.
Go ahead.
Alright, come on, Obelisk. Obelisk. And yeah, just these. Okay.
Take 2.
You go down to 7.
Yep.
Not quite an Obelisk. You're up. Are we planeswalking? Maybe. Electrician.
That card's sweet. Alright, so here I have to decide if I want to. So this is interesting. I can just attack with my Nissa and see if he wants to trade off his Rabble Master for it. for fear of me having a land and being able to transform the Planeswalker. But I'm not sure if he can afford to just trade off his Rabble Master here. I'll attack with Nissa.
I'll go to 16.
I'll transform Nissa.
Sure. I think taking 2 is worth it because I can't. Just not. I have to need. I need this
We
Rabble
make
Master
a
to win.
4/4.
Okay.
We don't have a token yet because it doesn't exist. But then I'm gonna play this and I'll drain you for 4.
12.
And then it's your turn.
Those are some good ones. Alright, well, I can cast this, make this, and...
So your Denizen is a 3?
Yep.
We got to transform Nissa against the Mono Red deck. You can almost transform Nissa yourself.
Yeah. I don't know how we're gonna win this game, but I guess I will send. I'll send these all at Nissa. They got to kill Nissa. Or attempt it to.
I'll block there and then these 3 on those 3.
Okay. Everything does. Go. When we had the Rebel Master, we were in a good position. We really just needed to hit like a removal spell or just something.
Yeah, removal
like,
spell or an obelisk or just something to get rid of my X2s.
Just something to push through. Even a Scouring Sands, I think we would have gotten there.
I will draw. A plus.
Okay.
I'll take that.
Yep, so you gain 5 life.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, unfortunately, no mana symbols here. I think I'm fine with attacking with all this. Maybe I just attack with these and attack the 4/4. Yeah.
Alright, at this point I'm just going to block because we're not doing anything with Rebel. So
Go ahead.
maybe I should have blocked the Nissa, but he may not have had the land and I still had good draws. But
Yeah, I think you would have been in pretty bad shape that turn. Well, the position would have been much worse. Alright, draw. Plus Nissa.
alright, I'm dead. I drew another mountain. So.
Yeah.
Alright, so we were able to determine that Elves did beat Goblins, but it was really close. It seemed like person on the play pretty much won all the games, and I think I probably would have won that last game if I had not
drawn
just
anything relevant.
Yeah, just basically drawn anything relevant, not just drawn basically all the same cards and then flooded out. And I felt pretty far behind on the draw, especially against Dwynn Elite. Just 2 creatures is always Hordling Outburst was always the best card against mono red. Just anything that makes multiple creatures is just very hard for red decks to beat. So yeah, that card was just really, really good against me. When you're on the play, you get to get it going much earlier than I can really deal with. As for this deck, I liked the Obelisk plan. It seemed really good post board. Seemed like when I was able to get it going, it was pretty effective.
Yeah.
I don't expect people to even have things like Reclamation Sage. So, he never got to Sage, or you did Sage and Obelisk.
Sage it once.
Yeah, and I think that won you that game.
You played a second one, and I ended up winning that game much later on. But
right. Well, I mean, you made me spend my turn casting a second Obelisk instead of a Rabble Master.
It made me not die.
Yeah. It basically won you the game. The game didn't end for another 5 turns, but you were just dead if you didn't do that. So yeah, I think the Obelisk plan was pretty sweet. Pile Driver was okay. I don't think. I mean, this is like the worst possible matchup for Pile Driver.
Yeah, basically any time that your opponent's just going to have the potential to have a bunch of creatures to block it, it's just not going to shine. Very similar to like in the mirror match when your opponent has like Dragon Fodder and Hortling Outburst. I don't think that's where Pile Driver is going to be great. It's going to be real good against the decks like Esper Dragons, or just something that's not going to have a lot of blockers. You just get to punish them.
Yeah, I mean, Pile Driver is actually not even that bad in the mirror though, because it's a 1/2 that blocks all their guys.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like it's just really bad against a deck that's like just vomiting creatures into play. But against something like a Siege Rhino deck, I think that Pile Driver actually is good because it can actually attack into rhinos and things like that. And against some of the control decks, especially Protection from Blue, I guess doesn't matter as much in Standard, but it can't be like blocked by Ojutai or Icefall Regented or anything like that. And if there's like a Master of Waves deck, Pile Driver is going to be insane against that deck, things like that.
Yeah, and we didn't really get to showcase it here in this matchup because your draws just didn't really line up. But having the potential to like Hammer Hand or Subterranean Scout your Pile Driver is pretty sweet to get a bunch of damage.
Yeah, I never really got to do that. But yeah, that's pretty sweet too. I think Hammer Hand, like the very few times I drew it, was pretty impressive. I actually really liked it. I think Scout was impressive too. It doesn't really go well with the Obelisk plan, so I think it actually probably should have get boarded out when I boarded into Obelisks.
Mm-hmm.
But it was like pretty sweet in the earlier games. The 1-drop guy was okay, but he
seems very good if you're on like a 4x that guy and then like a 4x Scout, because like there's going to be times where you can just like play him and then play Scout and attack, and then you just have a 2/2 that's going to pressure them because they can't block it effectively.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much anytime you play them on 1, I would expect to connect with them. It's very rare that your opponent's going to have like blockers. You just happen to have a bunch of guys that can block it. But like in most matchups, their first play is going to be playing a tap land or something like that against almost every deck. So I think if you play him on 1, he's usually pretty likely to connect. But anytime you play him later than 1, like he's definitely a lot worse.
Yeah, that's the big difference between something like that and Zergo, where Zergo will have added utility in the mid to late game with dash.
Yep. So Zergo might be better, or like something like Swift Spear or whatever. And Frenzied Goblin we just really didn't see, so we didn't get this wouldn't be like. Basically, this is the kind of matchup where cards like Rabble Master and things like that are really good, but not the kind of matchup where like Heel Cutter and Frenzied Goblin and things like that are good.
Yeah.
So a lot of these cards that we didn't see that much of,
which is why we saw like you boarded like 10 cards or whatever, 12 cards.
Yep. So yeah, I think that this deck's actually really good, but it's going to be hard to build it and figure out exactly what the right build is. What did you think about the Elf deck?
Plus, there's like 50 cards, or at the time of filming this. By the time it comes out, we should have the full spoiler by the end of this week.
True, yeah, we don't have the full spoiler
There's still
yet.
like 50 to 70 cards to go. I could very easily just have like another 1 or 2 drop Goblin that's awesome that just pushes the deck over the top.
I mean, Ringleader could be in the set too.
Yeah, that's true.
Yep.
And I'd like that. I think it would have a bigger impact in Modern than it would in Standard.
Definitely, yeah.
Just because of Aether Vial being legal in Modern. But Ringleader would be very good in a deck like this. As for the Elf deck, I thought it was pretty sweet. I was really impressed with the majority of the new cards. Nissa just seemed very good.
Yeah,
like
Nissa seemed great.
Just a 2/2 that I can play cheap. Gets land out of my deck. Plays good defense against any of the token strategies. And if it happens to get to late game like we saw in that last game, you just get to flip it and run away with the game. The elite that made the 1/1 seemed really good. If you're playing against a deck that's trying to attack you with a bunch of small creatures. I can't imagine that it would be like great against like a Courser type deck, but even then, if you have a way to get rid of their creatures, you're just getting value out of your threat, and they can't like 1-for-1 you with removal.
Yeah, I mean, or you can also have like Obelisk yourself, or use like the Grassroot Trapper guy,
to give
things like that. So like you still get added value out of the card. But yeah, I definitely agree. It's like in a matchup where the 1/1 matters, it also seems good against control decks too.
Mm-hmm.
So it seems really good against like the two like opposite ends of the spectrum, and just weak against the middle end, like spectrum, the mid-range style decks. But it does seem great against control and aggro.
The Fireball aspect was real sweet of this deck.
Yeah, there's a lot of damage.
Even the games that I was losing, like I still had lines that I could take to win.
Yeah.
Where it's like, all right, well, it's just chump here and chump next turn, and I have 2 draws to hit Company, double Shaman of the pack, and I just actually win the game. And that will happen a percentage of the time. where you just win games that you're so far behind you shouldn't have a shot. And cards like that are really unique, and I expected to see quite a bit of play. Getting used to Narut Trapper only letting you use the mana for creature spells will be interesting, where it's going to just end up telegraphing turns where you have removal, like I did that one turn where I used it to cast something and took damage, and then obviously had Bile Blight for the next turn.
Yeah.
But, I mean, you really can't get around that. It's just something that's going to happen. Being able to just like attack with your 1/1s and give them Death Touch is pretty sweet, though. I was really impressed with the Lord, Dwenin, Guiltleaf Dane. I think that we probably want more of those. Court of Calling seemed kind of weak, so I'd probably cut the cords and just play more Lords. And
Yeah.
just try and be a beatdown deck. Like, you have that angle where you can take trying to fireball them out, but a lot of games are going to come down to just like chip shotting, and then you play that guy and attack them for a bunch.
Yeah, I think Sylvan Messenger is good too.
Yeah, I definitely didn't want to play too many of the 4s because you can't find them with Collected Company, but I think that it's probably still worth it just to play, like 2 of the Lords and 2 Messengers, or just you could probably just cut all your removal and just play like 2 Lords, 4 Messengers, and just be mono Elves.
Need Garrick Wildspeaker.
Oh man. Or Overrun even. Just a good Overrun spell.
There is an Overrun. There are 2 actually Overruns, but neither of them are very good.
Yeah, they're both real bad.
No, they don't give. Neither of them give trample.
Yeah, I would just take a good old-fashioned country Overrun.
Yeah.
You also could play like a Hall or an Obelisk. Wouldn't be that bad either.
Yeah.
But yeah, Nissa was far away the card that impressed me the most, even though it didn't do too much work until that last game. Just the potential of the card outside of matchups like this is just going to be great. Like, these type of linear aggressive decks don't really have a card like Nissa where you can pressure a control opponent or a mid-range opponent on a different axis like that.
Yeah, I mean, it forces them to burn a removal spell on a creature they don't want to kill that's already provided advantage, because then if it flips into a Planeswalker, they might not be able to handle it.
Yep, and then once you get to the mid or late game, you just 3-mana Planeswalker.
Yeah.
Like, that leaves you open to be able to go like...
Anytime you have 6 lands already in play or more and you draw Nissa, you can immediately make a Planeswalker.
Yeah, I imagine there's going to be a lot of turns where you have 6 mana, you play Nissa, get a land, put the land into play, flip Nissa, and then cast Collected Company with your 4 mana left over.
Yeah, or cast like Dwenin or Sylvan Messenger or just anything, even like just a removal spell or whatever.
Seems pretty sweet.
Yeah.
So this weekend is 4th of July, so there isn't any open going on, but there are a handful of IQs on Saturday around the country, and then a bunch of IQs on Sunday. So I definitely suggest that if you haven't yet, check out your local game store to get in and battle some of those IQs. Format's changing. We're not really going to be battling Standard anywhere this weekend, so we don't have any tips on changes to these decks yet. Just keep brewing with those new cards and let us know what you want to see once the full spoiler's out for next week.
Yeah, there's a lot of really interesting cards in the set so far. So I'm interested to see like what kind of decks can be built off of these cards. Magic Origins doesn't seem like a super powerful set so far, but it definitely seems like a set that's full of a lot of interesting cards that could definitely find like weird niche homes or just be like missing pieces to decks that currently need something else.
Yeah, the set just seems very subtle to me.
Yeah.
Like, these cards are here for a reason. We just kind of have to figure them out. So for those of you who are watching on YouTube and not on StarCityGames.com, make sure you click some of those panels underneath our beautiful smiling faces to see some previous BBD versus CVMs. You can also like and subscribe to the channel, please, so you get notified when we post up some new sweet stuff. And like Brian said, let us know what you want to see with these new awesome cards. So until next time, have a happy 4th of July, and we'll see you guys next week.
See ya.